Hi, I'm Courtney Peters.
And I'm Phil Schlemmer.
And welcome to
Into the Spectrum. Cheesy.
Totally. Got a new person next to me now.
Well, not a new person. I've been here the whole time, but not actually in front of the camera, behind it. So
trying out a new format.
Yep, I'm gonna be asking Courtney questions, and she's gonna answer them. And I'm gonna try to make them questions you might have, just to make it more in depth and pick her brain a little bit on whatever we're teaching. So tell us what you think. Be nice in the comments, and
we got a newbie here, so be nice in your comments.
Yeah, don't hurt my feelings.
We don't want to scare him away.
So yeah, but really though, tell us what you think of this, and we'll see how it goes. So here we go.
Right. So let's dive into it. Today's topic, we're going to talk about answering yes/no questions. And so we get asked yes/no questions all the time. And do you want this? Do you want to eat that with a fork? Do you want a milkshake with your meal? So we get asked yes/no questions all the time. And so we want somebody to be able to understand what we're asking and to be able to make a choice and be assertive with that choice.
Yep. So how would you teach to say yes or no, or answer yes or no?
Right. So to teach this, I would try to be a little bit more structured with it. And
structured, what does that mean, like with teaching?
Well, I suppose what I mean is to set it up to happen. Not just waiting until it naturally comes up and trying to help somebody answer that question, but take some time out to teach it.
Okay.
And so what I would do is actually get two different piles. So I would get a pile of stuff that, well, if we're teaching you, I would get two separate piles. So something, and make one pile of things that I know you really, really like.
So things that I would say yes to.
Yeah, definitely. And I would also get another pile of things that I would know that you do not like. You would never pick it.
So I would say no.
So you would always say no.
Should say no.
Yep, exactly. And so if we're talking about food, we have some examples. And one example of each would be the yes would be the apricot. You really like fruits and vegetables, actually.
Making me sound healthy, but yeah. I try.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
And then a no would be taking a bite into a spicy pepper. You would say no to that, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yes, I would say no.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're getting tricky. So those are some examples. And so those would be in separate piles.
Okay. So then what do you do about the piles?
So then what I would do is get the pile of yes, and I would get them ready and ask you, do you want this? And then I would want you to say yes, because you do want these. And do you think you can always have to just verbally tell me yes or verbally tell me no?
Probably not.
No, there's other ways we can communicate.
So there's other ways to teach yes or no. But wait, so explain how you would do this again. I'm not understanding. So you would just can you do an example with me of how you would do that?
Yeah, definitely. So I would do something that he likes. I know he would pick this. So I would go and I would ask, do you want this? And then there's the different ways. If he can speak and he can vocally say yes, I'm going to model it and say yes. So say yes.
Okay, so modeling is just
showing them what to do.
Okay.
Showing them how to answer. So I would go and say, do you want this? Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So there we go. Okay. But there's other ways to communicate, right? You don't always have to use your speech. You don't always have to use that vocal language.
Yeah, if you're nonverbal. So what would you do?
Well, do you know what this means when I do this?
Yes.
Yes. Got it. You got it. So it means yes. And when I do this?
No.
That means no. Right. So we can use that to communicate. So I can actually teach you to use those gestures to communicate.
Okay, so show me how.
So we would have, again, the thing that he really wants. So I would have it, do you want this? And I'm modeling and showing him what the answer is and helping him get the answer. So then he's modeling it. So awesome
is that
job.
The same as prompting?
Yeah, that is a type of prompt. Awesome.
Oh,
You're
it's
right.
A type of
that
prompting.
is yep, it's a type of prompt.
Okay.
So
just,
different
like,
ways.
Imitating it?
Yep. So he's imitating. And so with prompts, we're helping.
I'm imitating. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Sorry.
And so we're helping get the answer.
Okay.
And then what about if you have a device? If you speak with something like an iPad, you can answer with that as well. So you can hold this up and say, do you want this? And then we can point to that button that says yes. So we can have yes, no buttons on there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we can use that as well. So there's different ways we can communicate yes and no.
So any other ways to teach it are maybe better, maybe not better, but just is there any other ways that you would do it just to help if it's like too hard, maybe they're not getting it?
Right.
Is there any other ways or?
Well, there is, in fact. There's actually something that I use quite often. So something that I use often are textuals.
Textuals, huh?
Yep. So I have
that
a no.
would mean like hieroglyphics, like piece of paper, pen, or chipping into stone with a chisel. Textual. That's just what it sounds like.
Sounds
to me.
like to you? Well, what it is, but you're right. It's just writing the word down on a piece of paper. That's it.
Textual.
Textual.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who came up with it, but that's what the term I use anyways. But anyways, you're just writing it down.
Okay.
Do you think somebody actually has to know how to read in order to use textuals?
No.
You're right.
Oh, good job. You said, oh, you got me there.
That was
a natural prompt.
Yep, that was holding up the no.
No.
So you don't actually have to know how to read when you show these. But what I'm doing is showing you a cue. So it will cue you into saying no, but I have to teach it. I can't just assume you're going to know this. I have to teach what I'm going to be using.
Okay, so you would do that. How?
So here's what I would do. I would first teach the textual, so teach this cue. So how I would do that would be I would hold it up and model the word for you. So I would hold it up and say no.
No.
And want you to say no. So I'd hold it up again. No.
No.
Perfect. No.
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 Do you want this?
No.
Did you see what just happened? That was exactly what was supposed to happen. That was perfect. Picture perfect. He didn't know what I was going to do.
Hold on. Sorry. So I didn't mean to cut you off. You're doing good there. What about is there reinforcement or something that you'd give since I got it right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would actually not give it to you. So if this was a no and you don't want it, I'm not giving it to you.
Oh.
But if I was doing the yes and you said, yes, I want it, I'd give it to you. Here you go.
Cool.
Take it.
Awesome. Let's see.
And you're taking a bite. There we go. Taking a bite.
So that's what you would do.
Yeah, so I would give it to him. So
let him eat it.
Right. Go ahead.
So then what if you have to kind of do it in different times so they're not eating like a bunch of stuff?
That's a very good.
Or try to give them like a little bit or something?
That's a very good point. I mean, if we keep asking over and over, do you want this? And it's a whole banana or a whole apricot, that's going to be so many, and that's probably too many to eat. But you can maybe break it up if they're okay with that. You can have one bite and practice one bite. So do you want this? Have them take one bite.
So would you say, do you want a bite of this?
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
Just try to keep it simple, though.
Sometimes I just try to keep it simple and say, do you want this in the beginning? And then we can vary it.
Cool.
But you can definitely ask that too.
Cool.
Because that is a yes/no question.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I learned a lot, so thank you.
Cool.
That was really cool.
Cool.
So, okay, that's it? Pretty good?
Well, and then I just want to point out too that when we're using these textuals, or if you're using a prompt or a way to help them answer, know that you want to be able to take them away. So they don't have to use these forever.
So then how would we get rid of the card?
That's a great question, because we don't want to use this forever. We want to be able to get rid of it. So how are we going to do that? How can we take it away? So here's what we do. I'll show you. We use this card, and I'm going to ask you, do you want this?
No.
And he answered it right. So if he's getting it right all the time, what I'm going to do is fold it. Fold it to try to get rid of it and make it smaller. So do you want it?
No.
No, he doesn't want it. So what I can do is fold it again. So I'm going to fold it again and ask, do you want this?
No.
He said no again, so he's still getting it right. So that's awesome.
So what happens if, sorry to cut you off, but what happens if you can't fold it anymore then?
He's right. How small can we actually make this? It's still going to be there. So how can we get rid of it? So here's what I do. We have just this little card. What I'm going to do is start to just flash it and see with just a flash if he can answer it. So do you want this?
No.
He got it right. He still got it right. And I just flashed it. But I am going to make a little note. If you didn't get it right, I might have to go back and open it up. And that's okay. We're just going back and showing you this, and then we'll fold it up again.
Step back one step.
Step back. And that's okay. That happens. But I'm going to flash it. And then what I'm going to try to do again is just try to hold it down here and see if you can answer it. So let's see. Do you want this?
No.
And I was just holding it in my lap, and he still got it right. So that is awesome. So guess what I'm going to do next?
I don't know.
Get rid of it. Try not to use it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask now, do you want this?
No.
And he got it right without using the textual.
So then would you
that's
keep
exactly
trying it
what we
without to just make sure?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm going to keep asking those questions to make sure he has it. But I'm going to have the textual or that cue handy just in case he doesn't get it. So I want it ready just in case.
Oh, cool.
So I'm really not going to throw it away, really.
Nice. Awesome. One more question. So then do you switch up the items?
Oh, fantastic question. Definitely switch up the items. Because again, we don't want him to just memorize and just learn. When I ask, do you want this? I'm always talking about a pepper.
So are you going to switch it up after I learn, or are you going to switch it up every time you say it? Ask the question.
That's a very good question. I would try to switch it up right off the bat. So try to vary it. And so use a pepper one time. So do you want this? And use a pepper. Then I would get a pickle and say, do you want this? And learn no. I would try to switch it again because we want you to know that this is a concept. We want all the things that you don't want. We want you to say no. Mm-hmm. So if we can switch it up, so if we can switch it up from the beginning, that's even better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So those are some ways of teaching yes, no.
Yeah, guys, if you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments down below. Please click the little thumbs up. It really helps us get other people to see our videos. And then if you please subscribe, that helps too, which basically that means you click the circle with Courtney's head in it. And it should have a subscribe button. You just click that and it really helps us out. So thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much, guys. Let us know if you like this format.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.
That was pretty thorough, and I really like that. I learned a lot myself. So.
Well, cool. I'm glad you learned.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.